31 is in the post-production phase at the moment. It'll probably be out early next year. I'm still editing the film, but for right now we're on a 3-week hiatus because I leave for Europe to do a tour, and after that I'll get back to editing, and then we'll get into color timing and finishing up the music for the film and all that. So there's about, good 2 months left of post-production, then I'll be done. I'm really thrilled with it. Just the other day I screened the whole thing, just me and the editor, we watched it, and I was really happy with it because you work in such a weird vacuum, you don't know where it's going. And at that moment in time anyway, it was my favorite of all the films I had made. And I don't always think that, so it's not like one of those things I say every time. So yeah, I'm pretty thrilled with it. I've always loved Groucho. I've been a big Groucho, a Marx Brothers fan even since I was a little kid. I mean, at that time, I think I first discovered Groucho because when I was little, they were rerunning, You Bet Your Life all the time on local television. So I got really hooked on that. And what happened was many years ago, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, I forget when it was, I bought this book called Raised Eyebrows. And it was really just about the last few years of Groucho's life. And it's a true story of this guy, Steve Stolia, who was just a UCLA college student who became Groucho's assistant and was inside Groucho's house for the last few years. And Groucho's last few years were not good. It was very Sunset Boulevard, like he had a young woman, Erin, who was his assistant. They weren't sure, was she drugging him, abusing him, embezzling his money? And it got really crazy to the end when this 19-year-old college kid is basically put in charge of Groucho's life. He's a super fan, and now he's like in charge of Groucho, who by that point he had like 3 strokes and was right, almost on his deathbed. And it's just a really dark, fascinating, I love Hollywood stories. And this one just blew me away. And I just happened to mention it one time in an interview, and a friend of mine said, "Oh, I know a guy who knows the guy who wrote the book." And he was so excited he mentioned it. So I called him up and bought the rights to the book. And then immediately people were like, "We want to make that." So it's all good. Yeah, the script is being written now by this guy, Oren Moverman, who just wrote the Brian Wilson movie, Love and Mercy. And we'll start production on that. It's not even really a biopic. It's a biopic the way Ed Wood is a biopic of Bela Lugosi. It's just that one moment in his life towards the end, bizarre ending of his life. So it's really like that, even though that's kind of campy and funny. And it's a pretty dark, serious story. It's not, there's humor probably because Groucho was still funny at that point in his life, right to the end. But it's kind of a weird, sad story. Hey, this is Rob Zombie. Subscribe to Louder Noise, the loudest noise on